How much dividend income did I receive over April? I've been dividend investing since 2020, and in this video I'll give an update on what my dividend portfolio paid me over the month. I'll share what dividend stocks I've been buying and selling, and take a deeper look into the portfolio itself. I also invest in premium bonds, and towards the end of the video I'll reveal the results of the April prize draw. But first of all, let's get straight into the dividend income that I received over April. I received 10 dividend payments in total. April isn't usually a big month for me, but this year it's ended up being the largest month of the year so far. The first dividend was from Barclays, who paid me £59.29. Coca-Cola paid me £20.12. Diageo sent me £15.56. My JEGP ETF paid me £27.86. JP Morgan paid another dividend of £20.43. My QYLP ETF paid me £55.46. Realty Income paid another dividend of £17.25. My VHYL ETF paid me £61.40. My VOOC ETF paid me £82.36. And finally, my VUSA ETF paid me £28.06. So my total dividend income for the month was £387.79. If you appreciate my transparency, please consider hitting that like button to help the channel out. And if you want to see how much I hold for each stock, stay tuned until later on in the video when I do my portfolio update. So how do my April dividends compare to what I received in April last year? I was paid £132.41 in dividends last year from 6 different companies, and we can see how that compares to this year. I haven't sold out of any positions from last year, and since last year I've also added the 2 ETFs JEGP and QYLP into my portfolio. There have also been some timing differences, with VHYL, VOOC and VUSA that paid me in March last year but paid me in April this year. And last year, PepsiCo paid me in April, but paid me in March this year. If we do compare last year's dividends with this year's, we can see that they've all increased as I keep adding to my positions and reinvesting all dividends. This chart shows how my dividend income received this April compares to other April totals in previous years. The dividends I've received over the years have been increasing nicely, with a huge jump from last year to this year. And this is mainly down to the timing differences with my ETFs, plus adding JEGP and QYLP to my portfolio, which are monthly payers. This chart compares the monthly dividend totals from 2024 with my dividends from 2025. And it's always nice to see higher totals this year compared to last year, and March and April have been very pleasing with the large increases. So how do my dividends look if we zoom out and look at the totals? This chart shows how much I'd received at this point during the last few years. From January to April in 2024, I'd received £533.10. But from January to April this year, I've received £447.61 more, with a total of £980.71. Again, it's good to look back at prior years, as it keeps me motivated to continue what I'm doing into the future, and hopefully continue the same progress. This chart shows all of the monthly dividends that I've ever received, and we can see that the numbers have been increasing year on year as I keep contributing and reinvesting my dividends. You can see that my largest dividend payments come from March, June, September and December, and because of these monthly fluctuations, I just prefer to focus on monthly dividend averages when I'm tracking my progress, rather than individual months. Over 2024, I received an average monthly dividend of £206.29. 4 months into 2025, my average monthly dividend is £245.18. However, I expect this to come down again over May, as May is one of my lower months. Using this chart, I also like to look at the average dividend at this point last year, and we can see that it was £133.28. So it's motivating to see a big increase again, and it's actually £111.90 more, at £245.18. However, due to the monthly fluctuations, to get a more accurate analysis of the average, I'll have to wait and see what the full year average ends up as. I don't pay any dividend tax, as my dividend stock portfolio is held in a UK stocks and shares ISA with Trading 212. So all of the numbers that I've shown is money in my pocket. Link in the description if you're interested in starting your own journey with Trading 212. All dividends received are always reinvested back into the portfolio to fuel the compounding process. Before I talk more about my dividend portfolio in more detail, let's go through what dividend stocks I've been buying over the month. I bought 24 shares of JEGP for a total of £503. This is the JP Morgan Global Equity Premium Income ETF. I also bought 43 shares of QYLP for a total of £536. This is the Global X Nasdaq 100 Covered Call ETF. I bought 7 shares of VHYL for £358. This is the Vanguard All World High Dividend ETF. And lastly, I bought 12 shares of VUSA for £957. This is the Vanguard S&P 500 Index. So in total, £2,354 spent, which is quite a big outlay for me, but I was just taking advantage of the market dips throughout April. Let's now have a look at my stock portfolio that generates these returns. I currently have £88,165 invested. This is money that I've put into the market, excluding uninvested cash. My portfolio consists of a number of dividend stocks and dividend ETFs, and the ratio of stocks to ETFs is currently 59% ETFs and 41% stocks. Being fully transparent, here are all of my positions, showing all of my unrealised gains and losses. The dividend yield for my portfolio is 4.29%, which has increased slightly since my previous update last month when it was 4.27%. The yield has been creeping up in small increments this year, due to buying stocks that have a higher yield than my portfolio. And this yield equates to around £3,782 per year in predicted dividends, £315 per month, £72.73 per week, and £10.36 a day. And you can see how much this has increased my dividend income by since last month's update, as I keep building brick by brick. I track the progress of my actual dividend portfolio versus a forecast. So over April, I forecasted to invest another £1,667 into my stock portfolio, and actually invested that amount. 4 out of 4 completed so far on my contributions. I also expected to receive a dividend of £194, and actually received dividends totalling £388, so £194 higher than forecast. This is a large variance and was just caused by those ETF timing differences that I spoke about earlier. So by the end of April, I forecasted to have £89,588 in my stock portfolio, so I'm currently £185 ahead of schedule. This number is what's in my overall portfolio, both invested in the market and uninvested cash. Year to date, I started the year with £82,128, forecasted to contribute £6,667, actually contributed £6,664, and I also forecasted to receive £793 in dividends so far this year, but have actually received £981. This means that 4 months in, I'm currently slightly ahead of schedule to hit my end of year target of having a dividend portfolio of around 105k. At my current dividend yield, this would generate £377 a month in dividend income going into 2026. And this is my plan for the years after that, as I look to keep contributing and reinvesting all dividends. My long-term goal is that this portfolio can generate enough passive income to contribute towards my monthly expenses, and even allow me to retire or just scale back and work part-time. As well as dividend investing, I also have another form of passive income through the monthly prize draws from my premium bonds. So let's now have a look at the results over April. I've only won once in 2025, which was £25 in March last month. So I went into the April draw with £20,875 invested of the £50,000 maximum that you're allowed. My luck just isn't in this year, and it's another month without a win. My average holding this year is £20,240, and with a prize rate of 3.8%, I'd have expected to win around £256 after 4 months, so I'm well behind. But these tax-free prizes are never guaranteed, and hopefully my luck will change over the rest of the year. So I'll still be going into next month's May draw with £20,875. I do document my full investing journey on this channel, and you can see how this has been progressing if you go back and watch some of my earlier videos. If you are interested in following along, please subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss any future updates. And if you have enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, as it does help the channel out a lot, and it's something that I really do appreciate. So I hope I've covered everything that you want to hear, but if not, feel free to drop me a question in the comments section below. I'll be reading and responding to every message that I can. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.